My name is Jose Miranda Velasquez. This video is for 335-02. This is the interview video for manager position.
Okay, Mr. Miranda, we're going to go ahead and begin your interview. I'm going to start by asking you a couple questions. The first question is, what is your leadership style?
My leadership style, I would like to think that it's autocratic, to where there's a leader that leads the whole operation. Typically, I believe that there should be somebody in charge that will turn around and lead the whole organization or the company into the right direction.
Okay, and my follow-up question on that was, can you give me a few examples of this action?
A few examples of this action is, for example, in the fire service, whenever you have an incident, you have incident command where you have a battalion chief, somebody with years of experience and knowledge that will then turn around and be in charge of the operation and in charge of the scene. Typically, they tend to wear the white helmets, and then they turn around and give command to other firefighters and people below them to get things done.
Okay. Can you tell me of a time when you faced a conflict or disagreed with a coworker or leader?
A time I disagreed with a coworker or leader was recently. Currently, I work for an ambulance company. I'm an EMT, and a time that I disagreed with a manager was on how to prepare my ambulance and where to put certain things in the back. For me, I work on that ambulance every day, so I'd like to put things in a practical location because it's things that are used on a daily basis. My manager didn't really like that. Eventually, we compromised after they heard my side, and after I heard their side as well. We compromised and came to a conclusion that we were both happy with.
Can you tell me of a time when you were faced with a problem and successfully resolved it?
A time that I was faced with the problem was just recently when we had a patient that we had to move from one area to another. We had the 500-pound patient on one of our EMS gurneys, and we had to move them over to an ER gurney. And we didn't quite know what to do and we didn't quite understand on what to do, how to move them over, as the patient was non-ambulatory. So eventually came up with the idea of, let's just grab a slide board. We can grab a hold of the sheet that the patient's on and slide them across. It wasn't ideal, but we were able to safely move the patient over to the the ambulance. To the ER gurney that we were originally looking to go to, and we're able to meet our goal.
Okay, perfect. Can you tell me of a time you were faced with a staffing shortage, either from leadership or an employee situation? What were your actions related to being understaffed?
A time that we were understaffed was when we didn't have enough EMTs out in the field, and my partner and I were just getting bombarded with calls, and we would clear the ER that we were at and get another call almost immediately. During that time, we were able to come up with the solution that, we would take the calls that were in our general area. We got in contact with management, and we were able to come out with the solution that, of course, I just mentioned. We would take the calls in the area as other crews would take calls a little bit further out and make the best of the situation.
Okay, thank you. One more question for you here. What is your strategy to retain employees and maintain morale on the unit?
My strategy that I would say to maintain morale in the unit and maintain employees would be to keep the employee happy. In a stressful situation, most employees, when they reach out to management and ask for time off or ask for a request, typically it's for a reason. I believe that for me, if I was a manager, it would come with a give and a take. If they're asking me for something, not that I expect something in return, but I expect for them to do their job and to do their job efficiently and adequately. If they need time off from vacation, grant it to them. Make them feel like they're appreciated in the workforce, whether it's Hey Pizza Fridays or Ice Cream Mondays, something so that they feel that they are appreciated and loved, and so that they love where they work, and so they continue to come to work happy Um, Additionally, maybe give them a raise or two, few cents to a dollar every so often, so that they are staying within the company and the organization and hopefully grow with us while they're working here.
Okay. How do you offer feedback to your employees?
To offer feedback to my employees, typically, I believe it would be pulling them in and having a conversation with them, um, whether it's an annual review to where we speak to the employee annually when they get their review at the end of the year, or if something needs to be addressed sooner, pull them into the office and speak to them and with them, um, to ensure that if a mistake is being made, it doesn't continue. But as well as to give them an achievement or an award, or to congratulate them or to thank them for their hard work.
Okay. Give an example of how you embrace cultural differences and diversity in your team.
To embrace cultural differences within a team, I feel like it's a very unique situation because um, you have different cultures that you try to blend in, and have a unity in the workforce. So if we can celebrate all the cultures and do a multicultural event or a fair once a year, so that everybody can express themselves, everybody brings a little plate or a dish from home, whether it's a multicultural fair or a potluck, everybody gets together, celebrates as a family, and share their stories, share their background, would be beneficial for us and the company, so that everybody gets together and celebrates.
How would you approach an underperforming employee?
Um, an underperforming employee, I feel like my approach towards them would be first to speak with them, maybe get them additional training. Maybe they weren't trained adequately enough. Maybe they don't see the big picture like we do. So I believe that first I would speak to them, let them know what's going on, let them know that what is their performance is not up to par, and get them some training. Give them a second opportunity or a third opportunity. Give them a chance to correct their underperformance before we make a different decision.
How would you approach an angry client?
To approach an angry client, I feel that I would approach them with the mentality or the approach nonetheless of, hey, I understand a mistake was made. We apologize for the issue. How can we make it better? How can we rectify the issue and keep you as our customer?
How do you commit to professional development? Provide an example.
For professional development, my commitment towards professional development would be to ensure that everybody's happy, to ensure that everybody receives education to where they can advance in the company or turn around and advance in a different company or a different path, whether it's uh, encouragement or whether it's backing them up when they need time off to go to school or giving them a stipend or a scholarship to pay for their school. We always want to see everybody do better, so giving them an opportunity, whether it's with education, with scholarship, with time off, whatever it is they need, we want them to grow.
What would you do if you were presented with a process improvement project with ambiguous excuse me, directions?
I would approach that project with an open mindset, with the idea of I may not know what I'm doing, but we know the project needs to be done, and we are looking for the outcome that we are looking to get. So approaching it with an open mindset, with the idea of this is something different, this is a unique or ambiguous project that may or may not have been done before, but may be new to me. So approaching it with a different mindset or an open mindset would allow for us to explore different options and possibly different outcomes.
Okay, and that will conclude your interview, Mr. Miranda. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time. Thank you very much.